amazing clients. Like I said, we did it for LinkedIn. We did it for lots of law firms, which was
LinkedIn.
hard. Yeah, we did LinkedIn. Yeah, yeah, we did LinkedIn. Yeah.
So at this point, all I can hear is greatness in my ears. One of the clients we've had for like almost 3 years is doing events for LinkedIn. Oh my days.
LinkedIn was amazing. We did it for all the directors of the different markets, the European market, African market, South America market. So we did there. So that was mad because I had to send art packs all
I,
over the world. Yeah, when I tell
even
you,
saying this like it's
I was on
nothing.
the phone.
Everyone just
Huh?
have a moment what she just said because it's, yeah, we just did that. Look, yeah. I was going to ask a question actually, which was, you're a mother,
Mhm.
obviously, now not obviously, but you're a mother, and how have you found it having a startup in the first few years and being a mother and dealing with daily life? Like, how did you overcome all those challenges and struggles of having something so brand new? Yeah, and obviously, I think you was when you first started, you were still doing you was still a solicitor, right? So
Yeah.
how did you get through that? Was that a challenge, or was it smooth sailing and it just it just went took off and it was fine?
No, it wasn't smooth sailing at all. I mean, part of the reason, and I guess I didn't mention this as well, part of the reason why I wanted to set up my own business was to be able to spend more time with my children. I have a son and daughter. They're
Mm,
10 and 6 now. And at the start of when I went back to law after having my son, I was working ridiculous hours. I was leaving the house at like 6:30, coming back at 8:30, and I never saw him. And a lot
mm,
of my drive for running a business or having my own business was to be able to be flexible with my timing, being able to see and spend time with them, go to sports days and this, that, and the other.
mm,
Running a business and being a mum is hard work, and you not only is it managing your time, but it's you can feel guilty for constantly having, running a business. I'm sure
mm,
you don't switch off. I mean, obviously I put a post up this morning. You don't switch off. You literally, you sleep when you can,
mm,
and you're not on a 9 to 5. You're working all the time. And
mm,
so it was hard at the beginning because you were building up a brand, building up a business, and it was easy to give up. I think the
mm,
first year, 100%, it's a make or break situation. But I felt like I had no choice, even though I was consulting in a law firm, and still it wasn't the same, because when I stopped to have children, I passed up an opportunity to become, to go down a partnership route.
mm,
And it's very old school, that profession. And the
mm,
moment you have children, you're already sort of boxed into a certain
mm,
space, because they see you as not being able to, because you have responsibility, you're not in a situation to be relied on, therefore, you're not going to be put forward for opportunities. And that
mm,
was another reason why I wanted to work for myself.
mm,
But just going back to your question with regards to balancing it, my children see me graft. They see me graft a lot. They see me work hard. And what I didn't realize until the other day is the lessons that they're learning from seeing me work so hard is inspiring them to be the same. My daughter's like, "Oh, I want to be a party artist," and I'm like, "No, no, no, party artist." Yeah, but she's picked up on the whole art thing, and my children, they help. So we were doing art kits through
mm,
lockdown. So we were sending out art kits to people. My helpers were my son and my daughter. Like, we would sit down and put these kits together
mm.
and send them out. Like, we had like a production line, and it was just me and them doing it, which was amazing.
Oh, that's
Um,
cute.
but yeah, no, everything I do for them. So it's, it helps your drive and motivation being a mother, because there's no other option than to be successful and to push through and to always reinvent yourself. And I think for me, as I'm sure you know, for a lot of people, lockdown was a hard one,
Mm,
especially within the events industry. But like I said, for me, it was literally there was no other option but to push through. So yeah, it has its pros and cons of
mm,
running a business as being a mum. Um, but I use it as a drive, if that makes sense, and a
no.
motivation. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's amazing. I love that because I resonate with that so much in terms of family, spending time, giving them like something to drive off from yourself in terms of the ambition. So yeah, I really resonate with that. Um, Last year was probably the hardest year, probably in how many years regarding lockdown, pandemic, and for many startup businesses, it was difficult. Some closed down, some couldn't cope, some are still surviving on just about, and some are probably thrived. Like, but from where we're standing now, like, how did you cope with that? Like, because obviously you are a party event, so how did you know? Like, did you always have this backup plan, or were you just thinking quickly on your feet in terms of like your alternatives? Like, how did you survive the pandemic from last year? Because many party events would never have survived, but because of I'm not say the niche of your market, you was able to create something still create, keep your audience, and then you've probably built on it from people that have previously experienced your event and want to experience in the flesh now. So you've
yeah.
actually almost you laid foundations last year, um, and now you're reaping this from the sort of seeds you planted. So how was last year for you, and like how do you feel now about it?
So last year was, obviously when we went into lockdown, nobody knew what was happening. Um, we obviously had to cancel a lot of our events that we had pending um, because of lockdown.
Mm,
Um, as a brand, as Party and Paint as a brand, and because we were working with Prince's Trust, and we had strong charity and community links with our brand.
mm,
My first concern was I felt like I had a responsibility to keep people going. Does that make sense? So for me, I'm blessed. I obviously have my husband and my children,
mm,
and we can look after each other and such. But there was a lot of people out there that you know didn't have so many people around, or their house or home wasn't their safe place, if that makes sense.
mm,
So for the initial part of the beginning of lockdown, I spoke with my team and I said, I think we need to do Instagram lives for
mm,
free, just as a responsibility for a brand
mm,
to kind of make sure and check in that everyone's okay. I don't know how it was going to go. I wasn't sure if people would be receptive to it.
mm,
Um, so we had a couple of our DJs and artists take on their lives. I mean, we had DJ R and Poke Curious who ran majority of our live events, and they did this for free. They had no expectation or requirement from Party and Paint to even pay them for this because they knew we were doing it for the reason we were doing it for, to kind of keep people's spirit uplifted. So we ran this. We did Soca Sundays. Oh, thank you. We did
Focus
Soca.
Sundays. How? Because I
Thank
never
you.
heard of this.
Did
What?
you not know? Yeah.
What?
So we did Soca. We did Soca
No,
Sundays.
I'm hearing of it, but a year later.
Hey, how
Oh
can you
my
not know?
god.
Yeah, we did Soca Sundays for like the first maybe a couple months, if that. So we ran this high energy Instagram live on a Sunday
Right.
where it was mainly soca. We mixed it up, obviously, but it was because I don't know if you remember when we went into lockdown, the weather was really nice. It was quite warm, so it kind
Mm,
of felt like the right, you know, vibe to be bringing. And obviously, I don't know if you can run Soca Sunday or in December and have it as effective, but no, we did this on Sundays and we started to build a following of it. And then people would join in. It would be for free. They'd learn how to do painting. They'd have music. It was a vibe. People played it through their speakers. They
mm,
connected it, and it was amazing. The feedback was incredible, and we had no expectation on what this would bring. We just wanted to do something for the community and just get people uplifted. Even if it was something small we could bring, we just felt like we needed to do it. And then by doing that, I then thought, well, hold on, people are trying to, we were like, get paper, get pens, get pencils, get this, get that, together to get involved. And I thought, well, let me see if I can create a pack. Because obviously we weren't making money at the
Mm,
time. So we didn't want to then charge people for something we were offering for free. So then
mm,
what I then thought, okay, let's do an art pack. No one, you know, when I say that we were the first paint party in the UK, we were the first. But obviously, what happened after us doing our bits out there and people seeing what we were doing, we started to get a lot of competition coming through that would then try to emulate what we were doing.
mm,
You know, fair dues. This is how it is, right?
mm,
So again, where we were the first ones to start doing this lockdown
mm,
art vibe, but then thereafter, other companies started to do the same. So then again, we were the first ones to create the art packs,
mm,
and then again, people followed suit. So yeah, we started doing the art packs. That evolved so many ways. Like we went from having this massive, like when I tell you, the art packs were so huge because we would put in the canvases that we would have at our events in the art packs because we were just thinking like this. We were just like boom, 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 boom. I had all these canvases that I'd had for the events that we were coming up. So I had this massive canvas, and then I was putting paints in pots. I was up to God knows what time getting these packs together. And then when people received it, it was like massive, 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 massive. So it went from that to a slightly smaller pack to the most beautiful boxes that we do know you might see. They all come like wrapped
yeah.
in bows and everything. We put prosecco in it. You know, it was an evolution from where we first started with the out packs to where it is now. We put gourmet popcorn, we put chocolates, we do, customized packs, everything. So yeah, that definitely moved from A to B. But yeah, so for lockdown, so what happened is we started to get interest from companies because they saw we were doing something um, online, and people started messaging us, oh, this looks amazing. Do you do this for corporate? And then I was like, well, yeah, why not? But we wouldn't do it as a live, we'll do it as a Zoom. And then the rest is history. We started killing the corporate scene during lockdown. We were doing events for like 60 people online, which would require an hour and a half of our time. And the way I was monetizing it was through the art packs. So they paid like a really small session fee, but then we would charge for the art packs, which would have prosecco and everything. So they'd get their canvas, their paints, their paintbrushes, and a drink. And then we tailored our whole event similar to how our normal events are, where we'd be like, all right, everyone take a drink, or it'll be shot time depending on the clientele. So we do shot glasses, everything. So, and then I don't know if you saw, we created our cans, our party and paint cans. I'm sure you've seen it, right? So we started to include that. So we saw it as an opportunity to brand. So yeah, we had amazing clients. Like I said, we did it for LinkedIn. We did it for lots of law firms, which was
LinkedIn.
yeah, we did LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn was amazing. We did it for all the directors of the different markets, the European market, African market, South America market. So we did there. So that was mad because I had to send art packs all
I,
over the world. Yeah, when I tell
even saying
you,
this like it's
I was on
nothing.
the phone.
Everyone just
Huh?
have a moment what she just said because it's yeah, we just did that. Look, yeah.
Honestly, honestly, it was. But see, right, it was a nightmare though because I was on the phone to couriers all day, every day, like chasing them in South America, in Ireland, in this, that, and the other. Please, like this is for LinkedIn. You need to make sure they get their stuff on time because it was like make or break for us.
Mm.
And yeah, they loved it. They enjoyed it. I think it was a Christmas one that we did for them. And they've
Oh.
had us do it for their interns and everything since.